it's snowing a lot. We've got a foot at least outside, so I'm not taking my dog anywhere. Look at this. So he's going to disappear in the snow if I take him anywhere, but I'm committed to making a video, so I'm going to read this and then talk about it a bit. Resilience and digging deep. If you want freedom and peace, it's going to take a lot of soul searching. It's going to take unraveling the old you. It's going to mean deconstructing the scaffolding upon which the self is built. It's going to mean facing whatever lives in the shadows. All the old, neglected and hidden parts. It will take courage and surrender, and may well feel overwhelming and frightening, and may bring you to the very edge of yourself. But that's what it takes, and more besides. But there is great strength in you. There is great power and capability in you. But you must unleash it from its prison. In many ways, awakening is similar to the birth process. It squeezes you. It scares you. It even feels like you're dying. There may be a life and death struggle, but there is a light that pulls, and there is no going back. But there is the possibility of a rebirth. Of course, you know, some people have spontaneous awakenings. In fact, maybe awakening itself is a spontaneous kind of experience. And yet still, for most, many, some, when awakening is kind of experienced, still the post-awakening period means that, or brings about, an embodiment, the embodiment that we talk about. And that embodiment can be tough because we're meeting everything that has been held in the shadows, because everything wants to get to the light, which you might have heard me say before. But for most people, and I include myself in that, it's going to take a lot of soul searching. It took a lot of digging. Not digging for an end, but digging because once you start looking inside, and once you start unraveling whatever it is that's in there, whatever old beliefs, whatever stuckness, you know, whatever you've carried around, whatever's been neglected, if you like, it starts all coming to the surface. It all starts coming. And there's no two ways about the fact that that can be very difficult. It can be very difficult because it causes a lot of pain, a lot of tightness wants to release. A lot of the tightness that we've carried around wants to release. And there's a fear of overwhelm. I think it was somebody I was speaking to yesterday, felt a sense of overwhelm, that they couldn't potentially handle what was arising in them. And so the mind jumps on it and says, no, I don't want to do that, it's too much, a fear of death and all that kind of stuff. And that's where the last thing that I talked about is. In many ways, awakening is similar to the birth process. In many ways, this journey of transformation is similar to being born, because it is being reborn. It's a letting go of the old. Well, what happens when we're being born? We're letting go of the old. You know, we've had 9 months. Usually, I think, you know, quite safe in some sort of way, shape or form. Our needs have been taken care of. We're looked after. We're cushioned. We're held in the womb. And in some ways, you know, we go through this really, for many, life and death struggle. Squeezed through that tube, squeezed into being, squeezed into life, and that old way is gone. That causes, you know, that sounds wild, right? But in many ways, this is the awakening path, because, you know, here we are, you know, in the world, and we've been in the world for however many years, 20, 30, 40, who knows. And even though it's had its problems, and even though there's been traumas, and even though there's been all this trouble, still there's been a sense of the I, a sense of me, should I say, sense of me. It's me moving around, and there's something, even though it's uncomfortable, there's something solid about that, in some way, shape or form, kind of thing. And then this awakening comes along and calls us, and there it is, the need, the demand, the invitation, the call to let go of what we were and move through the birth canal of awakening. Gradual, might be quicker, might be slower than, you know, the 10 or 12 or 8 or whatever hours that it took for us to be born. But it's a metaphor, really. I'm talking metaphorically, not really literally. But that's what awakening is, in a way. It squeezes you. It deconstructs. It threatens you with death, because there is a death, the death of the old self. That's how demanding it is. And in many ways, there's nothing you can do about it. But in some ways, there's something you can do about it, because you can recognize something, you can see yourself going through a long process, and you can recommit and say, yes, I'm doing this. Yes, I will go through. Even if it feels like I'm going to be overwhelmed by this emotion or that feeling or this sensation. They're just sensations. It's just energy moving, energy that was trapped, energy that is trapped inside us. When I used to do, I did a lot of rebirthing sessions, not giving rebirth, receiving it, and the amount of energy stuck in the human, and the human system is extraordinary. And it's revealed in rebirthing. That's us. That's what we're holding on to. So there's a releasing going on. But some of that really needs to be released. And when it's released, then things start flowing again. Things really start flowing again. But I don't want to take up too much of your time with this. I just wanted to say there is great strength in you. There is great strength in us. But we have to be resilient, and we have to pay attention. We have to be prepared to go further than the mind says. Mind says no. That's it. That's my limit. And we have to decide for ourselves whether we're going to listen to that limit, or we're going to say, I'm a warrior and I'm going further, and I'm going to meet everything that arises. Love meets everything that arises. And we have that because we are that.